Hello and welcome to VMTV Vaults. My name is Kyle Diamond. My guest for this episode of Vaults is Mr. Erko June. If you aren't familiar with his work, he's currently fighting in EMC after going 3-1 in KSW. He's got a bit of a crazy background. He became quite well known for being a bodybuilder, so has quite a big social media following, and then transitioned into MMA after being sort of shown it by a friend. But he does have a martial arts background from when he was younger that came to quite a sudden halt after an injury, which I won't ruin for you because it's quite an incredible story. Without further ado, Mr. Erko June. Before
Okay.
we talk about where you're currently at in your career, I wanted to go back to when I was doing a bit of a dive into how you got into MMA, and I came across the story about the injury that you got when you were younger to
Yeah.
your leg. Can you tell me about that? Like, for a start, what age was it that you got
Yeah.
that?
Well, it was around 16 years old. 16 years old. I was doing kickboxing, only kickboxing, and before that, I was doing taekwondo. That was my background in martial arts, and I got an injury on my right leg, and it was quite serious in this time. For me, I was young, so I didn't really think about it. But when I think about it now, it was really serious. It was paralyzed from knee to toe. I got my nerves got injured, so it was really paralyzed, and I had like 6 months of treatment with a physiotherapist
Mm.
and with electroshocks and everything. And I was lucky that actually my leg got back completely, like everything was back. And in this time, he advised me to go do strength, to do fitness, to develop some more muscles on my legs and to make it more stronger. And that's how I actually left martial arts for quite a while. I went into fitness, bodybuilding, and made a career of that in my younger ages.
Am I right in saying as well that they told you it would like never be
Yeah,
it would never be back to where it was before the
yeah,
injury?
yes, exactly. So that's what he told me is like, listen, you need to step back from martial arts and from any physical hard stuff. It will never be 100%. You will sometimes feel it, but honestly, thank God, until now, I never really had any bad feelings or something. It's working quite well, and I'm happy.
Did that, like you said, you then transitioned into like the bodybuilding side of things and stuff. Is
Yeah,
that what pushed you to end up being so successful in that before transitioning back to
yeah,
MMA? Like that, because you'd been told it was never going to be the same again. So then to go into a career as a professional bodybuilder
yeah.
is pretty incredible.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. It was not easy, because I started lifting. And honestly, at this age, 16, 17 years old, in this time, we're talking about how long? 14 years ago, 15 years ago. It was quite a new, fresh start for bodybuilding and fitness. It was not so big like it is now. It was the starting of the hype. And of course, when you're young and you see your body changing, getting bigger, more muscular, you get in love with the weights. So that's what happened with me, and I started lifting. Eventually I started competing, and also it was something that kept me away from the bad stuff in life. I was not really always like a saint or an angel, but with bodybuilding, I ended up in a hardcore gym, and that's where the trainer Bill Richardson, I will never forget him. He actually showed me how it's like to train hard, and after hard training, you can't go out, you can't do stuff. So
Mm.
he killed me. He killed me.
Yeah, exactly. So so obviously you did bodybuilding for quite a while. How long did you do bodybuilding for?
Well, it was quite a while. I've been competing first a couple of years until my 21, 22, when I was 22. And then I started doing photo shoots and working for different kind of magazines and for brands. You know, I was like a fitness model for them. And honestly, that's where I made money. You know, that's where I started making sponsored deals and was active on my social media at this time. So I'm talking about 10 years ago. It was a really good time to start with Facebook or Instagram, because you could go really like grow really fast with following. You know, now it's more difficult with the algorithms, and it's changed so much. But in this time, if you started, it was like the best time of your life. And that's how I combined everything. You know, I wanted to get more popular on social media, and this gave me more work, more brands to collaborate with, and yes, that's how it happened.
So how come the transition back into doing martial arts? Was it that you felt like there was something missing there? Obviously, because you did it
No.
before your injuries and stuff.
Listen, honestly, like in life, I love challenges. You know,
Mhm.
I always challenged myself, and this is how I kept working on my strongest. You know, if I have a challenge, I go fully 100%, give everything, and especially if people doubt me. You know, so and I had also a lot of goals in my life. I think every one of us has to have goals in life. This gives you more motivation to work harder. You know, to work for it. And fighting was always something I loved. You know, as a kid, I used to watch Pride, and I used to watch Dragon Ball Z a lot. You know, these kind of things that always inspired me. And it's very funny how it happened. My transition to fighting. I was going to do an interview in Germany at UFD gym. It's one of the best gyms here in Europe, and I was going there with Roberto Soldic. He's a double champ at KSW, and I was going there to do an interview with a German build site, and I was training him like personal training, like strength workout, and then we did a sort of interview together, and he did some pats for me. And then as a joke, it started, he told me like, yeah, man, come train here a little bit. You know, sometimes when you have time, come here in Germany, you can train with us. And that's what happened. So I went over there, trained a little bit. It was like 2 times a week. I went over there. And then I went with Roberto at his first fight in KSW. And that's where my eyes popped open. You know, when I saw the show, when I saw the cage, it was like 15,000 people. And you know, KSW makes a crazy production. It's like Pride before, like the fighters are gladiators, you know. And I saw the heavyweight guys fighting in this time, and I swear it was like I told my manager. Actually, he's my manager now, but at this time he's my friend. I told him, "Listen, these two guys, man, I can beat them as well. You know, I can beat those two guys. I wanna do this. I wanna fight." And really, 3-4 months later, I had my first fight fixed for KSW. They liked it, you know, because I had a lot of social media following, and I was going to do MMA, and you know, it was a big hype. A lot of people watched it, so it's a win-win situation. But honestly, some people say like, "You're crazy, man. You never have had an amateur fight before. You know, you're going to fight MMA professionally." And I just did it, and it was a big step in my life. But it ended up well. I won the knockout of the night that night, and you know, it was my pro debut. And after a while, I fought the second guy that I saw that night. I also beat him, and that's how everything started, man. It was crazy. It's crazy story, honestly.
Yeah. The final thing I wanted to talk to you about was, is it difficult transitioning from bodybuilding to MMA? Because I would
Yes.
imagine you have part of you that wants to just work as hard as possible, and in MMA, there is a thing where you can be too big, like
Yes. Honestly,
especially fighting big guys and stuff. You know, like it's kind of a balance, I guess, that you have to strike between cardio and
yeah,
size. So
yeah.
I just wondered about how you have to adapt to that.
100%. 100%. I agree. Listen, the first couple of months, I got my ass kicked. Really, like in the gym, I got like broken nose. I got injuries. I got, you know, the biggest problem was to be mobile, you know, and flexible, and don't have and um, the thing is, you get really like your muscles get exhausted really quick, you know, and especially if you're bigger. I'm also 180 centimeters, so I'm not so tall, and I was about 105 kilos, so quite big, a lot of muscle size. But listen, now we are 3 years further, 4 years almost, because of COVID. 1 year was and I'm completely different man, completely different athlete. I also lost size, so I gave up muscle just because I want to give everything for my fighting. Of course, the first couple of months was difficult, but eventually the body adapts, and it's really crazy. It's really crazy. One of the biggest things I realized in life, you know, this was a lesson for me from doing all kinds of sports and these transitions, is that a strong body, when you see a guy with a strong body, doesn't really mean it's fit. You know, this is the biggest difference. People see these days on Instagram and social media like shredded guys and full of muscle, but doesn't mean this guy is fit. You know, fit condition is totally something different. And I worked my ass off really these last years, but I feel much better, honestly, when I was doing bodybuilding. It gives me also much more satisfaction when I'm fighting, you know.
Sweet.
So,
thank you for your time, man. We're excited to see you back in there, of course. And yeah, appreciate it.
No problem, man. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you, man. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, man.
See you later. Thank you for checking out this episode of VMTV Vaults with myself and, of course, Mr. Erko June. If you want to go follow him on social media, his name is his handle on Instagram, where he's got like over 1 million followers, and his Instagram is really, really good. So go check it out. Also, keep an eye on EMC, because we can't wait to see Erko back in there, of course, because he's on a 2-fight win streak and he's got some serious momentum behind him right now. Like I said, thank you for checking out this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode of VMTV Vaults. Until then, I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye.